with us. Hopefully the rain won't drive anybody away. Our next speaker is Mark Knowlton, business owner and entrepreneur. He started a blog site called laststandelection.com, and he's going to talk to us briefly today about the cost of Obamacare. Mark Knowlton.
Thanks, Christine. I'm here to talk about what Obamacare is going to cost you individually, but for a moment I want to talk about our adversary, which is actually the media. The media originally got into the business of telling the truth, but many years ago, Edward R. Murrow once said, to be persuasive, we must be believable. To be believable, we must be credible. Credible, we must be truthful. About a month ago, the head of CBS News at a gathering said, you know, journalism is pretty much partisan now. So this is how far we've come in a couple of generations. The media will not tell the truth. They will obfuscate information that makes the left look bad. So we have to step in the vacuum as concerned citizens and voters to tell the truth. There's a flyer going around. You're going to actually take part in this discussion. I've done a lot of research on Obamacare, and among the research I came up with was a letter from the Congressional Budget Office to Senator Evan Bayh of Indiana, who had made a request, could you please tell me what it costs? All of the information about Obamacare as it was being promoted was talking about huge numbers, $500 million taken out of Medicare and Medicaid. The price tag is going to come to about $1 trillion. But those numbers are too big for anyone's head to get around. I think if people understood what it's actually going to cost them personally, I think it's going to hit closer to home. So for those of you who have one of the flyers, you can see the column on the left highlighted is based on your personal family income, and the column highlighted on the right is your actual premium. But before we get down to individual numbers, look at the top line for people at $30,000 for a family of four, which is a pretty awful number. If you look at the premium on the right, it's $2,300. Look a little bit to the left for the average net cost sharing column, $3,300. That means people at this income level are going to get free health care, fine, an extra $1,000 of free government money, because it's important for the Democrats to create a permanent underclass in our society. Okay? So I'm looking for a little bit of help from the crowd. So as you go down the list, the next income level on that sheet, for a family of four making 42 grand, now they do get an $1,800 subsidy, but their premium is $5,600, leaving us $38. So that's going to give them a net $316 a month for their Obamacare. Okay? Next category down, $54,000 for a family of four. Or stated another way, two income earners making $15 an hour. Okay? So someone want to take a look at the premium on the right and take out your smartphone calculator and tell me what that's going to be per month for that family? Anyone? How about $750? Okay? Next column down, $66,000. Okay? They're going to have a total premium of $11,000? $11,100. Okay? Someone want to do the math? What's that going to cost them a month? $925 a month. Okay? One more line down. $78,000. This is a married couple, each making $18.75 an hour. Not a lot of money. Okay? They're going to be paying $1,075 a month. $90,100. That's a couple making $21.66 an hour on average. They're going to be paying $11.83 a month for their Obamacare. And the last line, $102,100. It's a couple making $24.54 an hour. They're going to pay $1591.66 a month. The news gets worse. That number was generated in 2009 when the price of Obamacare stayed under $1 trillion. All right? March of 2011, the CBO redid the numbers and said the cost was going to be between $1.6 to $1.7 trillion. Now they walked that number back in March of this year to $1.1 trillion. So those numbers And you guys all know what your inflow of cash and your outflow of cash, okay? Do the math. What would happen if you had to come up with another $15.91 a month, okay? So those numbers we just talked about, they're going to go up because there's at least $100 million unaccounted for if the new CBO numbers are correct. This is what we're talking about. And if I didn't ruin your day, this is probably going to ruin your day. I shared this number with a friend of mine I met on Facebook. And when he found out what his Obamacare premium was going to be, I thought the guy was going to have a stroke. Now, he posted the link, and on the flyer is a link to my blog site, laststandelection.com, and on it is a video that explains, it walks you through the this chart, which is on page 29 of a CBO letter to Senator Bayh in 2009. He posted a link from my website, and he posted a link from the CBO site to show the actual 29-page document. 4 in the morning on Facebook on a Sunday. By 8 a.m. the same day, that document was removed from the CBO site. That's a document you paid for. You paid for that, it's gone. It's going to be on my site this afternoon, if you care to look at it. Now, if I didn't ruin your day so far, this is going to take the cake. Now, this is a thesis of mine. I don't have the same concrete proof as a document like that. But where is this going? Where is this going to take us? Are you guys aware that the federal government is spending $3 million per month on marketing campaigns to make food stamps attractive? Has anyone heard the radio ad? To a middle-aged woman? How does Mabel look so good? Well, she's getting some help with food stamps to keep up with her grandchildren. They're actually suggesting we hold parties like Tupperware to make SNAP program more attractive. Okay? Now, on my most recent blog entry, I have a link to an article from CNN. CNN, they're in the tank. The headline was, the government wants more people on food stamps. Now, the government doesn't make plastic cards to help you pay your mortgage. They don't have a plastic card to help you pay your utilities or your car payment. They do have a plastic card to help you buy food.
Cigarettes.
So imagine those numbers. You know what your cash flow is. You lump that number into your monthly cash flow. And there are going to be a lot of people in this country who are going to be forced with the ugly reality of having to do something to bring more money in or to do something about closing that gap. We're talking about the possibility of having over 80% of this country forced to make a tough call and go on food stamps because they had a headlock put on them, dragged into having this health care. This is what we're talking about. If people understand what it means for them, the media will not do their job. If there's information that's unfavorable to the left, they will obfuscate it. Worse, everyone's aware of the 2 times in the last month, NBC News took audio and they edited to grotesquely misrepresent actual events with George Zimmerman and Mitt Romney. It's not enough to obfuscate information and just pretend it didn't happen, but to twist the news like that. The media cannot be trusted. And if not for concerned voters like this, there is literally no one who will do it. So,
tell the audience the overall number as of April or May that are on food stamps.
The number of people on food stamps went from 28 million to 44 million under Obama.
Today.
44 million entering 2012.
Even if our population is 350 million.
Got someone saying 46 million.
Well, I was going based on the beginning of 2012. So you do the math. You know what your mortgage costs. You know what your cash flow is. How many people here can withstand another 4-figure hit going outbound without having to make that tough call? Did you grow up in a country where 80, 85, 90% of the population had to go to the government to have dinner? This is outrageous. This is outrageous. If we don't inform our neighbors, we're going to get steamrolled. But here's the good news. This information is going to win the election. And the reason is because any Republican who's running against somebody who's on the record for supporting Obamacare could be getting beat up in a debate and say, well, you know what, my opponent supports Obamacare, which is going to jack up your monthly cost, and you're probably going to have to go on food stamps. Elect me, and I'm going to help burn it down. So you can vote for the person who's going to put you there, or you can vote for the person who's going to fight to make sure that doesn't happen. So that goes from Mitt Romney to R. Scott Brown, who's running against that two-legged tissue of lies, to my friend Karen Harrington, who's running against Jar Jar Binks. I mean Debbie Washman Schultz. So guys, the shot heard around the world happened a few miles down the road in Lexington Common, where 7 colonials lost their lives. But the real stand happened. Captain John Parker led a 3,000-person contingent of militiamen against 1,800 British regulars, and we repelled them at North Bridge in Concord. Sent them back to Boston. Folks, right now, this is our generation's North Bridge moment. Toward the end of The Untouchables, a dying Sean Connery grabbed Kevin Costner by the lapels and said, "What are you prepared to do?" Guys, this is our moment. What are you prepared to do? Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Mark. We've learned a lot about Obamacare today. Hopefully you have learned that how important it is that we urge our representatives to vote to repeal.